yes, oh yes, oh yes. Welcome back to another edition of Nick and Knarf, two brothers in Tucson, Arizona, bringing you music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, both ways. And today we're bringing you music from the early 70s, including a great artist who was in Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Frank's going to tell you best.
This is one of the super groups of the period of the late 60s, early 70s, formed by the great stepenstills, who had just finished a little stint with some guys you know, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and a guy named Neil Young. And he decided to put together a band with some other really famous players. Nick's going to tell you who's in the rest of the group.
Of course, Stephenstill's Chris Hillman from Souther, Furay, and Hillman.
And the Byrds. And the Flying Burrito Brothers.
And Dallas Taylor, Paul Harris, Fuzzy Samuels, Al Perkins, and Joe Lala.
And the band was called Manassas.
Yeah.
And they were one of these short-lived supergroups, only lasted for 2 albums, formed in 1971. And this debut album, a double album, which is one of the finest debut double albums you'll ever hear.
Yeah, Frank said they rose to number 4.
This album rose to number 4 on the charts of the debut. It's a double album, self-titled. Manassas was huge on the charts. After the album was made, the band did a tour of Europe, came back, did one more album in 1973 called Down the Road, and then they split up. Chris Hillman went on to rejoin the Byrds, who put together a reunion album, which I have too in my collection. It's a great album. And Steve Stills went on to rejoin Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young for another album. And the other guys, a couple of the other guys, Al Perkins, Harris, and Joe Lala joined Chris Hillman as he formed with John David Souther and Richie Furay, the Souther Hillman Furay band. So you had all of this morphing and dysmorphing and change. Got a lot of talent.
What talent.
This album is so fine from top to bottom. Not a bad song. It plays rock, rhythm and blues, love ballads, straight pop. It has got everything. Great musicianship, great singing and songwriting, and we know you're going to love the hell out of it, especially if you're a fan of Chris Hillman or Steve Stills, because they are both bringing their stamp to this amazing album.
And shout out to my brother Orlando and his wife Cheryl for sending this great T-shirt to Frank.
I just had my birthday. Orlando had this made saying, "I'm with Nick," and he sent me a beautiful Nick and Knarf mug with a picture of Knarf on the cover.
Everywhere I go, people say, "I'm with Nick. I'm with Nick."
He's going to be, hopefully he'll get a shirt that says, "I'm with Smarty" over here or something. But anyway, thank you, Londo. I love you. It was a beautiful gift. Really good. I'm going to be using the mug all the time now, and I love the shirt too. So anyway, before we get started, we'd like to invite all of you, if you like what you're going to hear, please, if you have not, subscribe, like, and share. What do you got to lose? Be a part of the tribe, because we have a lot of fun caring for your ears and all our subscribers.
It's like I said before, it's not like we come 3 times a day. I mean, we hit you maybe once a week.
Well, what we bring you is sweet and tasty. At least we like to think so. We hope you guys do too. And anyway, so are you ready to get into it, Nick?
I am, and it's probably most of you are feeling pretty hot in the western part of the United States.
Everywhere, too. There's a big heat wave going on. Hopefully you guys are keeping cool and hydrating, but we're going to rock you crazy with some great stuff from Steve Stills and Manassas. So we're going to start with I'm going to end it with the song, which was more of their bigger hit, but I want to start with a song we both really like a lot. It's called It Doesn't Matter. Here we go.
Let's keep it hot.
Falling and spinning, losing and winning, keeping my head. Watching for signals, furious and vigil. Was I misled? I remember you said that you don't want to forget me. It doesn't matter which of our fantasies fled. Tomorrow, looking to borrow a piece of today. Run a bit faster, here comes the catch, you're making his play. shallow, ugly and hollow, doesn't even allow you to want to know how you might live for the living and give for the giving, moment by moment, one day at a time. It doesn't matter, it's nothing but dreaming anyhow.
Nice, huh? You'll hear the timbales and the congas and stuff. That's Joe Lala, who's a very famous percussionist, and they brought him on to give it this kind of international sound. But doesn't that sound like Crosby, Stills,
Oh my
and Nash?
gosh, I was gonna say the
and
same
Salvador
thing.
Hillman, Furay, and Poco, and all
And
it has that at Buffalo Springfield.
And it's, yes, a little bit too short. I wish there was more of it.
Oh, so great. That was made for radio. I think back at the time they wanted to have these songs that they hope would hit the radio waves. But you can hear the tasty mix of the style, that slide, and the beautiful guitar work, and the congas, and the harmonies are gorgeous. Isn't that a beautiful song? Anyway, that one's It Doesn't Matter from Manassas. Okay, now, this is a song that really hit the charts for me. It charted at number 68 or so. The album itself reached number 4, but only this song was like a hit off the album. So it really was played heavy on FM radio.
You're kidding.
And this,
Only this song?
Only this song from this album. But
Wow.
this is a really tasty, funky, rockin' song. It's called Rock and Roll Crazies.
Look out, mama, it's coming to you. I can't tell you what you're gonna do. Rock and roll crazy, get you right down, make you feel so tough, your feet leave the ground. Look out now, don't you go too far. Get hung up being a rock and roll star. You'll find out it's easy to lose your way. Get yourself practicing being shallow every day. Yeah. Don't wanna tell you how to run your scene. I only can tell you what happened to me. You keep your eyes open, you keep a clear head. The woman inside you gonna wind up dead. Look out, mama, don't you go too far. Get yourself hung up being no rock and roll star.
This song really jams near the end here.
To lose your way. Some practicing being shallow every day. Yeah.
cut short. It's part of, actually, because it's part of a medley. There's another song after that, but I wanted to play this part.
A couple of things to say about this. Stephen Stills, I mean, do we really realize what a great impact this man made on American music?
You keep forgetting all the transformations of this artist, Stephen Stills. He did that album, what was his name? Super Session with Mike Bloomfield, Al Cooper. Then he was in Buffalo Springfield. Then he breaks up with them and he goes to Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Then he forms Manassas. Then he breaks up. Then he goes back to Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Then he has a solo album. Then he puts out this. Then he rejoined with them. I mean, the guy has been a force in music for so long.
How many great songs he's written. This song reminds me of a white guy marrying a Mexican chick, and you play this song at the reception.
Don't the timbales add an awful lot to the song? It really makes it go into another gear.
I love
with a different feel. What do you guys think of Manassas and these terrific songs from this awesome group that only lasted for 2 albums, 72, 73? It was over at the end of 73.
Okay, Timo, tell me, is that something you would have heard at a Mexican wedding? I'm telling you. Our friend John, his dad, our friend John, who answers us quite a bit and watches us, his dad was in a mariachi band, man, and I tell you, they were hot. Got to see them. They were great.
Absolutely. But hey, leave us your comments on, are you familiar with them? Have you ever, they only did that one tour from 72, 73, and that's about it.
I can't believe this was number 68, but the album was number 4.
Yeah, because a lot of it got heavy play on FM radio, playing deep tracks all the time. Wow. And I think that sold the album, plus the clout of the name of Steve Stills and Chris Hillman, obviously.
That blows me away.
But this album, if you have not heard it, it is one of the fine gems of the early 70s.
I know what I wanted to ask you. Was that 2 slide guitars?
Yeah, there were 2, because Chris Hillman is in there playing slide and Steve Stills.
So they were like countering each other.
They were working together on it. And Lala plays percussion, and then I forgot who plays the other instruments. I think they have a keyboardist too and stuff. One of the guys is a keyboard player and stuff. Forgive me for not knowing all this stuff, but what an assembly of terrific musicians, and it's too bad. These guys could have gone even further, but obviously these guys were always looking for new opportunities and chances to play with other friends they like playing with and forming groups.
But the quality of the songs are so good.
Outstanding. You got to check out this album, self-titled Manassas. You won't regret it. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed our presentation today of Manassas. And if you did enjoy, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing if you have not, because we care for your ears and we'd love to have you be a part of our tribe. And all of our subscribers, again, thank you so much for being a part of the tribe. And thanks for joining us today on another episode of Nick and Knarf.
Love you guys. Signing off.
Ciao, Bambini. Peace out. We'll see you next time.